Afternoon, Absurdity fans. Pyramids. Back to the pyramids, right? I jumped onto the old YouTubers to see if there was anything new. There is one. It's a month old. 94,000 views. Evidence reveals how the pyramids were actually built. I haven't seen this one yet, but I really want to know how they're built. So I thought, let's go through it together. Let's see what new stuff there is.
Make a McSmart with a new McSmart meal from Macca's. 2 burgers, small
I
fries
can't
and a
really
small
sit
soft
through
drink
these
for
things for
$6.95.
more than a couple of minutes. Yeah. All right, be careful. All right, be careful. Like an hour. All right.
That the Great Pyramid of Giza had a kind of moat that went all the way around the base so that the blocks could be shuffled off to individual locations. This would ensure that the fairies did not get hard to move from one pressing into the other.
Life's messy. For a superior wash and finish, choose Dulux Wash and Wear. Worth doing, worth Dulux.
Dad's standing me up again.
At Corinity Aged Care, we have all the amenities.
Right.
There are many great mysteries in our world today, and some of them are of a human nature, while others may be more cosmic in tone. And then there are the historical mysteries that should be easy to solve and are anything but. Arguably, one of the biggest of these mysteries is the one that concerns the Great Pyramid of Giza. It's a very special artifact from the ancient times that people have been trying to figure out in terms of its construction. And given the time period it was made in, and the technology of that period, how in the world did the ancient Egyptians make it? Because surely such an act would have been impossible, right? With that question in mind, here now are 20 Egyptian pyramid construction theories. Number 20, the Great Pyramid of Giza. Now I'm going to take...
Before we go anywhere, the first thing you have to have when you start talking about something like Pyramid Giza or all of the pyramids, and you're going to come up with a theory, the first thing you need to know is how the stones were quarried out of the quarry, how they were cut out, right? They never mention this, right? Let's have a look.
A slight detour before we go down the rabbit hole of construction theories and conspiracy nonsense to instead talk about the Great Pyramid of Giza itself. Because, aside from it being one of the 7 wonders of the world and a UNESCO World
I just realised I should have zoomed out because probably cut my face off when I was talking there. The first thing you need, right, is an explanation. You can't just go, oh, well, we think they built them like so, without knowing how the stones got there or how they were cut out of the quarry. You simply cannot do it. It makes no sense. It's illogical. It defies common sense.
heritage site, you may not realize just how important of a structure it is to the world at large, and as a monument for Egypt itself. For example, it is indeed the largest pyramid that was ever constructed in Egypt, and furthermore, it was made for the pharaoh Khufu, who had reigned over Egypt and ordered the construction of the
It was made for Khufu. Hang on a minute. First stone, please, before everybody just presumes, right? This is what happens. We don't know it was made for Khufu. It wasn't made for Khufu. The pyramids have been there for hundreds of thousands of years, probably.
structure, which took 27 years to make. And yes, the sarcophagus of the pharaoh is still within the pyramid as we...
Did we just hear a 27 years to make? This is new. 27 years, eh? This is new. Alexa, how many days are there in 27 years? Alexa. Oh, she's not on. All right. Five, 35, 7 6 is 42, 3 45, and 4, 3 7 is 21, 25, and a 0, 2 5s are 10, 1, 2 6s are 12, and 1 is 13, carry the 1, 2 3s are 6, and the 1 is 7, 5, 5, 8, 9. Alexa, how many days are there in 27 years? Alexa, can you hear me?
You're coming in loud and clear.
Alexa, how many days are there in 27 years?
27 years is 9,855 days.
Tick. Alexa, what's 6,500,000 divided by 9,855?
6,500,000 divided by 9,855 is approximately 659.5637. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did.
Thanks for your feedback.
That's 659 tons per day. If Giza was made over 27 years, that's 659 tons every single day. Alexa, what's 6,500,000 divided by 9,855?
6,500,000 divided by 9,855 is approximately 659.5637.
Alexa, what's 659 multiplied by 9,855?
659 times 9,855 is 6,494,445.
Close enough. Alexa? No, it doesn't matter. We're good. Alexa,
Here's some
what's 659 divided by 24?
from ministryofnumerology.com. The number 600 is made up of the energies of the numbers 6 and 0.
And Alexa, what is 659 divided by 24?
659 divided by 24 is approximately 27.4583.
If Giza was built over 27 years, that works out to 27 tons every single hour. All right? Went into the other board. 27 tons every single hour of every single day, of every single week, of every single month, of every single year for 27 consecutive years. That's day and night non-stop. This madness needs to end. God, they say it casually, don't they? Oh yeah, it's built over 27 years. No, it wasn't. It really wasn't.
Speak. I mentioned earlier that it's one of the 7 wonders of the world. I refer to the original wonders, and not only is it the oldest of the lot, but it's the only one that still remains intact today. Over the years, the Great Pyramid of Giza has been the focus of many people, including those who have wanted to know not only what took to make it, but what's actually inside of it. We do know definitively about 3 chambers that are inside the pyramid, one of them being the one where Khufu resides, and the other 2 were chambers for other purposes. But there are some alleged secret chambers that keeps people asking more questions and not getting a whole lot of answers. But
Now, there's only one question, right? Only one question I have. Just the first question. How did the first stone get cut out of any quarry wall face with only copper hand tools, right? Without knowing that, everything that's said after it is speculation. All of it is speculation.
the biggest question of all about this pyramid is how the ancient Egyptians were able to pull it off. This is 138 meters high, 230 meters long at the base, and they didn't have any heavy machinery to move those blocks, so how did they actually do it? Over the years, many theories and ideas have been put out, and some people claim that new evidence reveals how the pyramids were actually built. But is that the truth? Or are people just throwing ideas at a dartboard to see what sticks? I'll break
People are just throwing darts towards a dartboard, seeing what sticks, okay?
down the theories for you coming up. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Number 19, the rolling blocks theory. Now, there are several layers to the mystery which go around the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza, not unlike there are many layers to the pyramid itself. For example, they needed 2 million blocks of limestone in order to make the pyramid in the first place. The irony is that getting those blocks, theoretically, isn't all that hard to fathom. All they really had to do was get them from other areas of Egypt or Africa and send them down the Nile River. But
did he just say all they had to do was get them from Egypt or from someone else and throw them on a boat and ship them on over? Something that they needed 27 tons every single hour. Alexa, what's 27.4 divided by 2.5?
27.4 divided by 2.5 is 10.96.
10.9, can we call it 11? That's 11 stones weighing 2.5 tons each every single hour, right? 11 stones every single hour. They had to get cut out at the same rate of knots, mind, right? 11 stones in an hour with copper hand tools. Not one stone in a year with just copper hand tools. And that is a fact.
once they got them to the building site, how did they get the blocks into place? Each of the stones was averagely massive, and they weighed over 2,500 kilograms. That's quite the heavy stone. For context, that's about the weight of a pickup truck, and pushing and pulling may have worked if they had the manpower, but it also would have been quite tiring. Other ideas, some of which I'll talk about soon, were also proposed, but they lack the feeling of being quite real. That's when physicist Daniel Bohr comes into play. He was actually watching television late one night and saw people testing out an idea for how they moved the blocks and realized that if they had just rolled the blocks, it would have been even easier. And that's when he grabbed some of his students to test it out, where they grabbed some lighter blocks, and they strapped long round logs and stone to see if they could roll them along. And guess what? It did in fact work. They didn't have to use a whole lot of strength to get
Does that look like a 2.5 ton stone, right? Did we see how it was cut out of any quarry wall? And is that not machinery?
With the blocks rolling, granted they did it with a 30-kilogram stone, but with the right setup and manpower, the idea would have been to scale up. While it is a theory, it's something that has helped to put a spin on things and put out new possibilities. And since we'll likely never know the full lengths that the Egyptians went to so that they could construct this monument, why not listen to as many theories as possible? Number 18. The ramp theory. Easily one of the most popular theories that involves the Great Pyramid of Giza is that of the ramp theory. Because once the blocks are actually to the site in order to build the structure, you then have the problem of, after setting up the initial foundation, how do you get more blocks on top of the ones that you've placed? You have to keep going and going until you get to the top. So how did the ancient Egyptians get that vertical block layer in place without causing serious damage to the blocks below?
It's obviously ridiculous, right? If you look here, they had a ramp made of sand.
Easily one of the most popular theories that involves the Great Pyramid of Giza is that of the ramp theory. Because once the blocks are actually to the site in order to build the structure,
Look,
you then have the problem of, after setting up the initial foundation, how do you get more?
it's ridiculous. It's insane.
Number
right?
18.
I've gone too
The
far.
ramp theory. Easily one of the most popular theories that involves the Great Pyramid of Giza is that of the ramp theory. Because once the blocks are actually to the site in order to...
Look at that. They've got it all shaved off like some ramps made out of cement. This is what I'm talking about. This isn't educational. This is a joke, right?
build the structure, you then have the problem of, after setting up the initial foundation, how do you get more blocks on top of the ones that you've placed? You have to keep going and going until you get to the top. So how did the ancient Egyptians get that vertical block layer in place without causing serious damage to the blocks below? Well, the answer is they placed ramps around the pyramid and then used them to push the blocks into place. There is even some evidence upon the pyramid itself that indicates that this might have actually been the case and that it may indeed have been the real way that they did it. The biggest question now is what kind of ramps did they make and how elaborate were they? After all, making a ramp would have been child's play to the Egyptians. No one's disputing that, but moving the 2,500 kilogram stones up the...
Why? Why would making ramps have been child play for the Egyptians? We're trying to work out whether they built Pyramid Giza. We know they did not build Pyramid Giza because it is a logistical impossibility, right? 27.4 tons every single hour of every day, week, month, year for 27 consecutive years, including the nighttime hours. 27 tons. 11 stones every hour. 11 stones every
those
hour.
ramps and then onto the various layers of the pyramid without causing any...
Well, we're coming up to 20 minutes. We'll come back and do, what was the next one? 17? We'll do the next one after. I can't go through all of this in one go. Oh, it's ridiculous.